Hello everybody and welcome back to another commentary. This is the KD episode 8 and it's going to be episode 4 of my top 10 games. So come to number 7, we're going to have a kind of a new game, which was Dead Space. And if those guys who remember Dead Space, it was a game I must say I really thoroughly enjoyed. And all I remember about that game is the music. It had a great intro scene, which was a picture of a mining ship, and it was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but it was done in such a way, and the cinematics of the intro was, in my opinion, it's the best kind of trailer for a game ever. It was simple, there was no killing people or anything like that. It was just simple music, pictures, flashes of this enemy every now and again, and of death. And that's really what sold this game for me. And one thing I remember playing was, it wasn't actually first person, it was third person. You were kind of set back. It reminded me of Gears of War. It reminded me of Gears of War, in that kind of layout. Right, Gears of War. I have that on my list somewhere. Damn, I need a bigger list. But it reminded me of kind of the Gears of War layout of the game. And one thing, however, I really disliked about it was I felt it was very sluggish in playing the game. And this game was scared the absolute bejesus out of you because of the atmosphere the game created and the sounds and the music. And it was very sluggish to kind of play, and I remember it was very difficult to aim. In this game, what happened was you were sent, you were kind of a mechanic in this kind of suit, and you were sent to investigate an accident that happened on a mining craft, on this kind of mining spaceship. And what actually happened was, the story is, this mining spaceship took up this stone or this artifact from a planet, but this artifact actually brought bad guys onto the planet. So these kind of aliens were then, they had these huge big limbs, and they would cut you apart, and they'd basically just devoured you, and they'd get into your head and transform you, as far as I remember, into them. And you didn't know this, and you're kind of fighting your way with this black dude who's your captain, and you're trying to get control of the ship. And the thing is, you think he's this bad guy, you know, and that he's causing all these problems. And there's a girl with you, which this is a spoiler. She's actually the bad guy in it, and you don't find that out till the very end. And basically, what you have to do is you make your way to various sections to fix up the ship, to get a ship shape again, so you can get down to the planet. So that was that's kind of your role in the game. And I remember, you couldn't just blindly shoot these guys. You actually had to shoot off their limbs. And the first gun they gave you was this, I think it was like a welding gun, and it would shoot. And if you pressed Z or some sort of button, or spacebar maybe it was, the gun would rotate, and you could shoot at different planes. You could shoot vertical or kind of horizontal planes. And this would what this would do is this would chop off their limbs, and you had to chop their limbs off to kill them. And there was writing on the wall saying chop off the limbs and all this kind of jazz. And also remember, it was very hard to get health and bullets, so you had to be really reserved in what you did in your shooting and stuff like that. That's all I remember of that game. It was very jumpy, and I finished it quite quickly. But it's a game that I would it was scary to play the game. It was pretty disturbing. It really got into your head, which is one thing I really enjoyed about the game. And I remember one section which was very difficult trying to aim at. The sections of the game, the big arm would grab you, and you'd be dragged through 3 sections to a corridor, and you have to shoot this kind of yellow bulge in this kind of member. And it was so hard to aim in this kind of 3D view to hit the bulge. It used to take me 4 or 5 attempts at each time this happened in the game. I think it only happened about twice or maybe 3 times. It was very difficult. It actually reminded me of a kind of a horror film. I I think it was called Deep Rising, was it called? Deep Rising, where there's kind of a army snake, army, not army like in war, but there's kind of armed snake with loads of arms, like an octopus or something like that, took over a ship and would grab people and digest them, and then get rid of their bones and stuff like that. As it kind of reminded me of, but it had a great ending to it, which was you kept imagining your old wife or your old partner, who this blondie girl actually killed, as far as I know. She was part of the crew in the mining, and you'd always remember her. And what happened at the very end, the whole thing exploded, and you escaped in this kind of shuttlecraft or something, or a fighter. And you think the game is over, and all you see is you hear this kind of "Hello, John" or something, and you turn, and you see the head of this kind of your old girlfriend or your old wife in the plane. I go zoom, and this kind of fancy music, and the game would end. So it's kind of like saying you destroyed the artifacts, you saved everything, but for some reason it's still here. So you never know. We might even be seeing a Dead Space 2 in the near future. But that was a great game in my opinion, and I think everyone should at least play this. It's a very jumpy, scary game, but overall, I think you should go play it. It's a very good experience, especially with the camera style and the way the game mechanics worked on it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this commentary, and let me know what you think of a Dead Space.